Hi THORChads, it's KRT. I want to talk to you guys about ADR 17, the burn mechanism. I'm doing this video because there's a bunch of charts I want to go over, and it's not easy to post them in Discord. And I thought it's easier too if I can just like talk to you, walk you through them. So I'm in favor of it, and the reason I'm in favor is because inflation is bad. It's that simple, and it doesn't matter what the excuse is, what the reason is. Uh, you know, printing up new tokens is bad for the RUNE price, and I see the burn mechanism as a soft unwind to the block rewards. It's a nice gradual way for us to move away from them, and so just a couple other points here I want to touch on. Some arguments have been made against passive RUNE holders that they're not doing anything to contribute to the network, so why should we have a burn mechanism to benefit them? I disagree with that. The passive holders are contributing to the network. They're keeping the RUNE price at $4 right now. If all of that RUNE is in the network, the RUNE price would be $1. So it's okay. It's good to have some kind of premium on the price. What matters is that premium volatile or not, and I'll get to that a bit later. It's actually been quite stable, and the passive holders have been great at keeping the RUNE, helping stabilize the RUNE price, or helping stabilize the premium. It's been the deterministic price that's been volatile. The other thing is too, being a passive holder is a gateway to becoming an LP or a node. Just because they're not doing anything with their RUNE today doesn't mean they won't tomorrow. A lot of people, they want to start out small, get comfortable, and get more, learn more, get more interested. Then they'll do something bigger with their RUNE. I've talked to people with 6 figures of RUNE, and they're scared to post it as a bond to be in a node. They're still uncomfortable. They're still unsure. So we don't want to denigrate those people, right? Who knows at some point when or in what shape or form they will contribute to the network with their RUNE. Right now we have nodes and LPs. RUNE Pool is coming out. Maybe cold vaults will come out. Maybe there's something really cool I don't even know about yet, right? That you geniuses will think of. But the point is, just because someone's a passive holder today doesn't mean they won't be an active holder tomorrow. And so we should treat them as such. And nodes and LPs, if anything, we're stealing from the passive holders right now with the block rewards, right? That inflation is going to us, not to them. And so it's putting us at odds. If we're in deflation, it would benefit us both more equally, which I think is the right way to go about it. And then also the whole, RUNE is being deflationary is a meme. Yes, I agree with it. It's good marketing. Stocks will have 1% dividend even when they're in their growth phase, when they shouldn't be distributing any dividends. They should be keeping all the money inside the company to grow. They issue the dividend just so they can get into like income funds and any investment company that has a mandate that they have to have dividends. It's just helping check a box for investors. And I can see the burn mechanism, especially RUNE being deflationary, being a huge box to check for some investors, especially going forward with the next billion people coming into crypto. They're not going to be crypto savvy. They're not. They're going to be generalists, right? And they understand a burn mechanism, deflation, better than anything else. It's share buybacks, right? The best stocks in history have had consistent dividends and share buybacks, so they get that. And then also too, with a permanent loss, when the arguments there is stay in the pools longer, let time do its thing, and you'll at least get back to even. Same thing as a passive RUNE holder. If you buy RUNE and the price goes down on you, hold it, let time do its thing, and if RUNE is deflationary, that'll help drive the price back up for you. So if RUNE is deflationary, it gives passive holders another reason not to sell and to hold on. And then also taxes. Uh, a lot of us are in countries where the capital gains are taxed more favorably, but cheaper than income taxes. And so it's better for us to have a huge capital gain on RUNE with low yields than it is a small capital gain on RUNE with high yields. That's pretty simple math. Okay, so yeah, let's get into some charts. So what I did is I went back to April 2021, looked at the top 100 crypto, and their supply, their circulating supply then, and compared it to their circulating supply in July 2024. Sorry, and a bunch of those kind of they blew up, went nowhere, didn't make sense to include in this graph. So I'm left with 88. THORChain sits around 31, which is in the middle, about the top third. It's pretty bad, especially for THORChain, right? We topped the list on so many metrics. We can do better. I know this is a snapshot in time. I know there's a lot of one-off stuff like the team tokens and the seed investors, their tokens vesting. About 75 million RUNE that was unlocked. I know that's not going to happen again. The next 3 years should be much better for us. Even if we don't, without a burn mechanism, I know it'll be better. But we can do even better than that, is what I'm saying. If we with the burn mechanism, getting rid of block rewards, we can be down here. So in part of doing this chart, I had to figure out the historical supply of RUNE, and this is something I've been working on for a while. I don't think there is a definitive historical circulating RUNE supply. If you know if there's one, please send it to me. If you think you know how to do it, let me know. Let's do it together. I'm not a dev. I just kind of hack and piece this stuff together. But I think it's something we need to fix and something we need to sort out. Because look at CoinMarketCap in the blue and CoinGecko in the green. Their supplies are completely different. I mean, yeah, it's generally the same trend, but it's pretty bad. And I've tried to massage this data a little bit myself. And when I add in the block rewards, impermanent loss protection, the team and seed investors vesting, I get this curve. So I think, somewhere in the middle of all this is the truth. So I've created my own curve. Let's see, the orange one. And so I'll get rid of the others here. So this is what I've been using for my own analysis and calculations and whatnot, and what I'm using in the charts going forward that I'm going to show you. But I'd love to work on this with somebody. If let me know, and let's see if we can figure this out, get a true, accurate historical supply. Okay, so if I go to here, another tangent. The speculative multiplier. I've been meaning to bring this up for a while now, guys. I think we need to change it. It's whenever I go over that with potential investors, their buttholes pucker up. The word speculative is just, it exudes risk and danger and unknown and problems and whatever. And it's also a mouthful to say. It's 8 syllables. Growth multiple is 4 syllables, and it's actually more accurate in describing what we're measuring, right? If the premium is 4, if the multiple is 4, that's saying that the market is pricing in THORChain growing 4 times in size. If the premium is 2, it's going to grow 2 times in size, right? It's very simple. It's straightforward. And plus, growth is a much more investor-friendly term in word. People hear growth and they hear safe. And words do matter. Look at, if you guys pay attention to any sports, it used to be the gambling industry, sports betting was gambling. Now it's the gaming industry, right? And that, going from gambling to gaming, right? It's the same thing going from speculative to growth. That switch I think will help us with being investors friendly going forward. So I'm going to try my best here to use the term growth multiple here. And I'm going to start using it. If you guys disagree, whatever, I'm going to see if it catches on. So anywho, I've got 3 different growth multiples here. This one in teal is using this deterministic price formula. And this is what THORCharts.org was using. I believe now they're using 420 million RUNE. I'm sticking with 500 million because that's the true max supply that can be created. This purple pink one here is using this deterministic price formula. And the circulating supply is I'm using the supply created from my chart. And non-RUNE TVL times 3. So the idea here is that when the network is always in balance. And this is, I believe, what the Telegram bot and Twitter bot are using, this formula. And then this blue one here is this deterministic price. And in my mind, this is the most accurate way to do it. We've got the RUNE only TVL in the system divided by the circulating supply. So if the whole circulating supply ended up in the network at the same ratio, the same balance that it's in right now, whereas this doesn't really take that into the balance, the amount of RUNE between pools and bonds. I think this does a better job. Anyway, but if you've got your own way of calculating the deterministic price, please let me know. I'm curious. I like to play with it. But anywho, we've got 3 different multiples, and they're all kind of trending, following the same. And the reason I want to show them to you is how well, in my mind, they track with the cumulative block rewards. And so you notice this orange line here. I inverted the scale so that I can overlay it with the growth multiple. Notice this straight line. This slope is a consistent, constant block rewards being paid out. And then in January 22, the block rewards, the rate was doubled. And that's why you see the slope getting steeper. And then at the same time, the growth multiple got steeper too, right? It declined at a faster rate. And so in my mind, by doubling the rewards, we just drove the price down on ourselves. I understand the idea was to increase yield, to try and increase TVL, but I think it had the opposite effect. I think it drove down the price and just drove down the RUNE price and just hurt us. And then it stopped, the decline stopped around here, around May 2020, around April, May 2022, and kind of went sideways. And this is when synths were activated, when they started. And I've been trying to figure out a correlation, a relation. Was it the liquidity fees from all the trading and swaps that offset the RUNE deflation, the block rewards? Was it all these synths being created, being bought, and that buy pressure on RUNE offset the inflation from block rewards? I don't know. I haven't been able to figure that out. But if you're curious, I'll extend the date of this chart to today. And you'll see basically the growth multiple has gone sideways. It was about 3 here, and now it's about 4. The gap in here this is when the network reached its hard cap. And so because of the way the amount of RUNE in the network is being calculated on deterministic prices, that's why you get the gaps in these lines here. And then as the network became more in balance, they converged and they're more on top of each other. But basically, over the last 2 years, the multiple has been more or less flat. So passive holders have been doing a great job of keeping the multiple flat. If the passive holders were all over the place, we would see more volatility in the multiple. So the real volatility that we've had in the last 2 years isn't in the multiple, it's in the deterministic price. And that's why what we've seen in the RUNE price. So I'm I'm convinced when I saw this relationship, I'm like, God, something's got to be connected here, right? It's been bugging me ever since. And so I think the block rewards are hurting us. Just to kind of show you, this is the swap counts in green, and the cumulative, you add all these up, the cumulative line. You'll notice a step change in swaps when after synths were activated. And that's reflected in the slope of this line here changing and becoming much more steeper. And so this whole increase is what caused us to start going sideways. Okay, impermanent loss protection. Everybody believes ILP was a problem, a liability. It was crushing the RUNE price. We need to get rid of it. It was a mistake to do, whatever. Okay, fine, good. We paid out about 6.8 million RUNE in total. Now, if this is a liability and a problem that needed to be dealt with and it needed to be canceled, then what is this? Right? It's impossible to say that ILP was driving down the RUNE price and it needed to be canceled, but this isn't doing anything, right? Like, we printed 6.8 million RUNE with ILP. We've printed 33 million RUNE with block rewards. If this is having effect, this is having effect. It's impossible to say this has an effect, but this has no effect. Now you might say, okay, but Kenton, this RUNE is all being market sold instantly. Whereas this RUNE, half of it's going to the nodes, going to the bond module, where it's not being sold. I agree. The other half is going to the pools. And then again, only half of that is being market sold. So really only a quarter of this is being market sold. I get it. I agree. So let's look at that. Here is the same ILP curve and compared to the cumulative block rewards going to the pool divided by 2. So this is the block rewards that are market sold, that have been market sold every 6 seconds, every block. And we're at about 8.7 million so far in total. This, I guess, the slope of this line is steeper than this one, but they're not that far off. Like they're within, they're similar, right? So again, if this is bad and a liability, it needs to end. So is this. This needs to end. And I'll maybe just, what I find interesting is looking when this ILP was really starting to be paid out was in May. So if I start from May 2022, it does show that the ILP line is steeper than the block rewards. So it is fair to say ILP had this has more of an effect than this. But this definitely has to have an effect if this is, right? They're not that far off from each other. And just because these aren't all being market sold immediately, doesn't mean they don't affect the RUNE value, the RUNE price. It's increasing the market cap. It definitely has long-term effects. So we can do better, right? This is this is why I'm in favor of the burn mechanism. It's a way to softly unwind this, right? We don't have to do a knee-jerk reaction and just stop it. We can gradually do it, especially if we have, and we should be charging minimum swap fees on everybody. We start getting more income from that. That'll help offset whatever we're spending in the burn, help offset the reduction in these block and getting rid of these block rewards. So yeah, that's it. There's talk about, I heard people mention THORChain being the everything app. Why do we want to be the everything app? Why do we want to have savers and lending and perps, futures, all this kind of stuff? It's because we want to make money, right? We want everybody to be using THORChain to drive up the yields, to drive up their RUNE price. Make THORChain the everything investment, right? We're at the top of the list of so many things: decentralization, a true DeFi protocol. We're solving a true problem in crypto. The token has true utility. You know that it's not a bullshit governance token. You guys know all this stuff. We top the charts and everything except inflation, right? Which I think, as THORChads, we can do better. We can definitely get this down to zero and negative, and that'll have a much better long-term impact on the price. And the sooner we get to 100% organic yield, like all the revenue in the network is 100% real. Again, that's another feather in our cap. Like no one else is doing this, right? It'll make us the everything investment. So I said, that's my 2 cents. I'll put all these charts on Google Sheets so you can play with them. Let me know if you have any feedback. I'm waiting for Hurricane Beryl to come through Cayman Islands right now. It's eerily calm outside, but I might be out of power the next day or two. I don't know. So if I don't reply, that's why. Awesome. Thanks, guys.